terms of proteins. As it is globally, the sector is also important to Malawi, as it contributes 4% to the GDP. It's also a source of employment, and it is also a source of food and forex earner. However, in Malawi, the fish comes from two sources. That is the capture fisheries and the aquaculture, which is fish farming. Now, in terms of the production levels in Malawi, the fish production levels in Malawi, they usually vary. That is since 2000 to 2018. And the annual production on average has been 90,000 metric tons. And out of these, 90% comes from the capture fisheries and the remaining from the aquaculture. However, the 90% that the country produces falls short of the current demand, which is 110,000 metric tons. And this has both nutrition implication as well as economic implication. On the nutrition implication, this has reduced the per capita consumption, and on the economic implication, this has led to the importation of fish, which poses a threat as it drains the forex. So in order to reverse this trend, the government of Malawi and its development partners have promoted or are still promoting the deep water fishing in Lake Malawi, and the target is Ndunduma, and that's the species that I'm talking about, Ndunduma. And in terms of its production level, the Ndunduma production level has increased from 350 metric tons as of 2010 to 4,600 as of metric tons as of 2018. And this has been attributed by, among others, the overexploitation of the chambo species, which has left fishers with no choice but to exploit the Ndunduma. Secondly, there is an increase in the engine-powered boats, and these boats are suitable for the harvesting of Ndunduma. And not only that, but also the government as well as the developmental partners' efforts in promoting the offshore fishing. On the other hand, the beach value of this species has also increased. That is from 73 million as of 2010 to 4.1 billion as of 2018. There are a number of reasons that have contributed to this. Among others, there is an increase in the production quantities. There is also an increase in the demand, and the depreciation of the kwacha against major currencies, which has led to the increase in its prices. Now, what has been the problem? So the problem is that despite the fact that the government of Malawi and its development partners have put forward efforts to promote the shore fishing, but the fishers are under-exploiting these fish species. In fact, the fishers are exploiting only 5,000 metric tons against the possible 33,000 metric tons, which could be harvested annually on a sustainable base. And literature has suggested that limited technology is causing that. But the problem in Malawi has also been greater attention, which focuses on increasing the output levels, whereas there is a knowledge gap, especially that exists in the fish marketing system. So these gaps have reinforced the dominance of the fish business intermediaries that have slowed down the improvement of the welfare of the fishing-dependent communities. Now, for that reason, and exploitation of Ndunduma fish species in Lake Malawi can be attributed to the activities of these intermediaries. And to provide evidence for that is the fact that the fishers, they usually complain of the low prices, whilst consumers, on the other hand, complain of the high prices. And this is an indication of an efficiency. And not only that, but also it is a disincentive to both the producer and the consumer. So these inefficiencies are, in most cases, largely contributed by the market performances. So it is against this background that the profitability and the performance of the Ndunduma markets in central Malawi were assessed. The major objective of it was to determine the performance of the Ndunduma marketing system, and the specific objectives were to determine the profitability of the chain actors, the Ndunduma chain actors, and also determine the efficiency of both the marketing channels and the chain actors. Now, in order to ensure that, or in other words, this research was guided by two questions. The first one was to find out the level of profitability among the chain actors, and not only that, but also to assess the efficiency level. And the justification for this study is just to fill the knowledge gap that exists with respect to the performance of the fish markets. This study was conducted in Salima and Lilongwe district. These districts were purposefully chosen because Salima is a producing district, whilst Lilongwe is one of the major consuming districts. In the study, there were 265 respondents that participated in the study. So in order to determine the profitability, three variables were of interest. That is the net profit, the total gross marketing margin, and the net profit margin. And in order to determine the efficiency, the actor efficiency, then the return on capital employed was used. And in order to determine the channel efficiency, then the Achar and Agar marketing efficiency index was used. So what were the results? In terms of the profit realized, in Salima, among the fishers, they reported a net profit of 3,561,000, and that represents 36% of their revenue, and their revenue is 10.9. And other than that, then we also had to find the profit that we realized by other chain actors. The processors, they reported a net profit of 970,000, whereas the retailers, especially for the fresh and semi-fried, they reported a net profit of 240,000 and 110,000 respectively, with their net profit margin of 38 and 31%. The same was done in Lilongwe, and it was found out that the net profit margin of ranged from 770,000 to 120,000, with the net profit margin which ranged from 24.7 to 26%. Now, in terms of the actor efficiency, and in this case, we're looking at how the actors efficiently used their capital. So we had the capital efficiency, which ranged from 93.4% to 562%. Of interest was the fact that the one who registered the low capital efficiency were the harvesters, the fishers, and the one who registered the higher one were now